Hey guys, so this one's another cool one. I don't know how he does it, but the words on the page and the visuals that he has to go along with it, with each and every single one of our, likes and how we kind of grasp things is just super cool because not yesterday but the day before my mom suggested watching what the deaf man heard. And you have little Frankie Muniz and you know, they were on this bus going somewhere, and then, you know, he ended up falling asleep on the bus, and his mom ended up, um, something happened to him. But then, whenever he went to the bus station, then this these people ended up taking care of him, and you know, they were thinking that he couldn't hear, he couldn't talk, he just wouldn't, speak. It didn't click, and yet come to find out, of course, he could. But this is really interesting how I was going back to reading Psalms, and in Psalm 38, what did I see? But I am like a deaf man who cannot hear, like a mute who cannot open his mouth. I have become like a man who does not hear, whose mouth can offer no reply. Now, granted, this is, um, the Psalm of David, whenever they were people trying to kill him, even though he was trying to walk righteously with the Lord. And, it was also talking about, confession of his sins and how he was just talking to the Lord about all of this. But that imagery was just crazy. And, it also is going into these, children that are, the past. There's a few movies with between Tulsa, that little girl who came into, who thought maybe her dad's life ended up wasn't, but it was just sweet how she ended up being brought back to Jesus. And, there was also Lucy Swimmers and the Prince of Peace, also bringing, this childlike, you know, bringing people back to, dedication to the Lord, even so young, um, being instilled in them. And it's just absolutely sweet how to, you know, these children sometimes learning from them more than they can ever learn from us. And so um, that's why it's just super super amazing, especially when um, whenever we instill in them values that are awesome. Like there's this hunger for him out here, and it is absolutely amazing. I love seeing it. um, Even my nephew, there's this book of the Bible. It's been going to one of the schools in town, but um, that kind of goes along with it, where he sees this book and he's like, hey, read it to me. And so I was reading it, and then just some of the stuff he says, and them you know getting into reading these books, and into starting getting back into praying with certain things. And it's just super super sweet how they are at a point willing to just um, melt your heart. They definitely melt your heart with some of the stuff that they do. And so it is absolutely amazing. Because no, they're not perfect, but it's just, I don't know, it's just a sweet childlike innocence, and are just gonna definitely keep you on your toes. um yeah. And so even though I don't have children, even just these nieces and nephews, and being, you know, around it quite a bit, it's just been awesome to get to see what, they pick up on. So, yeah, hope each other come back to the Lord. All right. Like the video, like, comment, subscribe. Later from you guys. I love you all, and I will see you in the next video.